We see the aggressive plays from ANDBOX with this ice wall coming out on the A site. We hadn't seen them use this in the prior matchups in that fashion, but I still really liked what they were going for. Try to cut off the tree angle,
feels like
focus on
defense
health,
should be on the
focus
left and
rafters, see what
attack
you
should
can
be
get
on the
done
right.
through that manner.
And why do I feel that way?
Response working its way in here now from ANDBOX. We are going to see some light investments. Nothing crazy, though, and that aligns pretty well. ANDBOX, for those who caught the previous series.
Why do I have that feeling?
You'll know that pistols definitely are the strong
thing?
suit for ANDBOX. Them dropping that initial round, not going to be too much of a surprise. It's how they'll look to evolve, especially past round 3, that we really want to focus on here. But the second round, still going to try to play these slow, specifically towards B main.
Because it's in the game, you're on the left.
Spot out, yeah,
right.
Tag onto him as well. So it's going to force him
is it like
back.
that in game?
He's going to
Okay,
kill most of
that's
the
why.
aggression,
Okay,
but maybe
I
not.
see.
We've got a couple players
That's why I feel that way.
main now and starting to lurk their way in, and this is happening at a good time as Asuna is potentially being caught moving away as well. However, looking at ANDBOX here, the possibilities are still open. You see pressure working its way into Cat 2, Steel shutting down both of those
got baited.
immediately. That was 7. Boy get knocked out without too much of an issue. Mata has much better luck over here at the B main entry point as he's able to take down Nitro.
It's been a great anti-eco so far from 100 Thieves. ANDBOX simply can't find the frags. Able to take down Nitro, and that'll do some semblance of damage to the economy,
there's been
but
a
as long as
piece
the
of
100 Thieves
food
are able to clean up the rest
stuck
of these
in my
frags,
throat,
it should be fairly straightforward.
like in the
Vice
back
works
of
his
my
way out. He'll find another one
mouth.
for his troubles, but Hiko, once again, quick to the trigger.
For the
seals
past
deal in that
3
second
days,
round.
dude.
Business as usual here within our first 2 rounds.
I can't
now
get
it's
it
time
out.
to see what ANDBOX have to show us. Big investments working their way in. Obviously, we'll have the slight bonus investment here from 100 Thieves. Even the players that are forced to rebuy don't look like they're going to super aggressively buy down here, going for full kits inside of this one. So they'll obviously be in grid straights for the 4th round should they end up dropping this bonus we'll have in front of them here. Important to note, guys, we are still on 2.05 right now. So that means the Bucky nerf has not taken effect as of yet here, and we're still more than likely going to see quite a bit of prevalence in that play.
On the opening to the rifle round here, the buy round now for both of these teams. 100
That's a
Thieves
tonsil
obviously a little worse
stone?
for wear, winning those 2
Fuck is a
initial
tonsil
rounds. So they're gonna have
stone?
some Spectres as well as a Bulldog along for the ride. We'll see how this works out for them. But still gonna have Steel here on the B site. Now a boost for ANDBOX as they're trying to find some pressure on the back end, but 100 Thieves giving them nothing. Steel able to kill to run it back. Still has pressure towards main as they're finally crossing in. The hot hands with a nice play. Able to assist Jay, cleaning up that space, and they have full control of B as the spike starts to go down.
Utility just too overwhelming for Steel and no chance to back out of there either, so just has to take the death in kind. At least was able to counter out the run it back, but unfortunately only the ult being taken down for his troubles on the inside of Hut there. Seb with a nice pick against Asuna as the rest of 100 Thieves try to rotate their way back in. Nitro will find a good opener, but the problem is Mata still has control of the
Nah,
market
dude, I think
stairs
it's some
and now the
chicken,
actual
dude.
Hit stairs here too, as he's going to try to rotate himself in a position to shut down
I'm not
Nitro.
joking.
We'll get it done. There's a good exchange from Hiko, but it matters not. 3 more players from ANDBOX.
I get it
still up,
right when I
ready
eat.
to trade that. It'll be yay to get the final
I'll be
kill.
eating a meal
ANDBOX
and I won't
jump on
feel
the
it,
board here on 100
and then I'll
Thieves
eat
bonus
food,
round.
and then I'll be like, fuck, dude.
Solid
I can
stuff
feel it.
from ANDBOX. I mean, everything obviously going off without a hitch, along with the ice boost to cover the back of B and the flood towards Boathouse. I mean, you gotta love a lot of the things that went on here for ANDBOX. 100 Thieves never really having a chance, just too much pressure. But we'll have to see once they're able to get their own buy around, what they're able to produce. I think that just the limitation inside of the firearms here really held them back from what they wanted to do.
Good change up on the last second there on the buys for 100 Thieves. So Steel's actually not going to be in the greatest position. He'll end up having to go all the way down towards a Bucky. I think while some other players are going to be
I don't
missing
think I'm a
utility
throat
here
goat.
too, as you can see, most notably on Asuna there. But on defense shouldn't be the end of the world, as you can see. Still has great capability to swing out into the open there. Takes down his doppelganger on the other side. Mata going down first in this round, but it's all just poking for info at this point. They do have the spike on that side of the map, but it seems that the players over here at A main have made a lot more forward momentum, having the peek into main, trying to bait something out from Ethan or another member of 100 Thieves on the site, but so far 100 Thieves not taking the bait on that, and all this posturing, just giving time for Steel to, I'll do that. Wrap around the corner, get a quick headshot off onto Boy. Asuna shuts down the other player on the B side of the map too, but Steel doesn't necessarily expect there to be a second player holding at main, so Seb is going to be able to at least get the trade.
Been a great round so far from 100 Thieves as he continued to shut down ANDBOX every step of the way. No one able to make it through either mains on either side of the map. Instead, they've now defaulted just a mid take, trying to work their way up. And I really hope that you guys can see, because I cannot.
Yeah, we'll work to get that real
and we're
quick.
back.
And there we go. Just a momentary glitch, but we're all good. We're back now, folks. With 20 seconds left. Couldn't have come back at a better time either. 100 Thieves looking to seal the deal on their third round here. ANDBOX trying to buy for something with 15 seconds left.
Nice.
It's going to be a tough push, and more importantly, a rushed push. Where mistakes are often made here.
I love this from Nitro.
Not really a winner here. He's not going to be able to find full contact, but at least he gets the
I
angle.
love that.
They're traded out by Vice. Really no time left. Not going to be able to get that spike down on the ground. We'll have to take the L and try to
I love that.
alive
I
here.
love that.
That's
Let me
not
explain
possible.
why I love that. I think people underestimate,
Reassert control
like,
of the match on their rebuy.
one Omen smoke on B site takes up so much fucking space. It is actually such a nuisance if you play in an Omen smoke on defensive B, or if you play on the retake defense, put a smoke, know that they're gonna play in it, and just avoid that smoke and clear the rest of the site, dude. It's people don't throw enough smokes into B site as Omen.
Third round overall.
Just
here.
don't.
That's gonna put ANDBOX
There's
on
so
there.
much you
Pretty
can do
much
with
an
it.
immediate eco round. We can
It's
see
so good.
It's light buy. Some players not even upgrading from their classics, and they were only able to buy towards
Oh,
utility. But
shit.
despite that, winning the official trade over at B main, a 2-for-1 trade back there. Steel and Ethan both going down. You're still gonna have Nitro deep in the site, and some aggression coming out there from Pico. The Hunter's Fury netting him one pick. We've got Asuna playing aggressively as well. That's going to be able to line them up.
Do I
with one more
smoke?
frag
No.
here. So 100 Thieves looking to quickly get aggressive to reassert control over the situation, and it seems that that plan has worked.
I just eat
Except
food.
Slurp right up on Nahiko, and he doesn't even suspect it. Shuts him down. That's full mid control suddenly in the hands of ANDBOX, but a challenger now approaching from the mid gates here. Asuna ready to try and shut it down. He's got to be careful. Seb now having an upgraded weapon to work with here. It'll be Phantom V, Phantom Boy. Still down on a classic and without much HP to bargain with here either. Will have to try his best to stay alive, work into the site.
Am I drinking tea? Okay, question for you guys. The Vandal better than the Phantom.
For ANDBOX.
The Vandal isn't better than the Phantom, and the Phantom isn't better than the
able to get a
Vandal.
rifle out as well as 2 ults away from 100 Thieves. This is
They're
so
both
big for
really good
them.
weapons that should be
Still have an
used
opportunity to win it as well.
like,
Working through main gates as soon as
respectfully.
Oh, the trigger discipline, the big brain. He knows they're both here. He lines it up, and it's 2 quick shots. Asuna seals it up once again here in round 5.
Important to note, though, is Stokes.
I think lower elo players think it's just preference, or it's just what you think works best, but it's not.
Case, bringing him down to a point where
There are
he's gonna
stats
probably end up getting a
that,
drop from one of his teammates. You're only
like in closer to
2700
medium
after the
range,
shield purchase,
your
so
Phantom is going
definitely putting
to
a dent.
dominate.
Not going to completely destroy them,
a Vandal.
obviously, as we'll still be going into a full gun round here on the 5th, but putting them in a much
Far
better position
range,
to be
a Vandal
immediately
will always
broken if
dominate a
ANDBOX
Phantom,
finds repeated
and that's just the way it
success
is.
on the upcoming round here. But it's been tough so far. 100 Thieves have been finding advantages very often.
That's
in the
just
early
literally
rounds.
the stat
Aggression
line.
from Asuna as an example towards B main. We're going to see him and Hiko pull off the same thing, it looks like, back at A main this time as well. We have another player coming in to assist on that too, but not getting much in terms of sound intel or anything.
All
from
the
the
pros
other
say
side of
preference.
this one. They obviously don't want to push into it if they'll leave themselves
That's-
overexposed. They're
who the
waiting
fuck
for
are all the
paranoia
pros?
assist to come in from Nitro.
No
back at
shot the
Tree
pros just
also.
say preference,
Seb's
dude.
smart about that though. Oh, looks like it's King that is anyway. Here he's now going to be revealed. Oh, and despite the paranoia going out, Ethan able to dodge it, finding the pick on Seb regardless. And 100 Thieves really asserting control over the site. ANDBOX just trying to move their way in on Cat to make up for this, but at the same time, you still have window and garden control really well asserted for 100 Thieves. That also fails, bringing it all down to Vice.
Oh, they fell right into the trap 100 Thieves had laid for them. 4 people.
I was just talking about this. He said the same as you, but the Phantom is objectively better.
100 Thieves,
Well, wait, that doesn't make any sense though. He can't say that they both have.
They still
Wait,
try to swing it back, but before KJ can even cross the
he can't say exactly what I just said and then say that the Phantom is just objectively better at the end of it. That's like that contradicts exactly what I just said.
Area working his way onto Tree now. And he's
So I don't know if that's what he said or not because I don't have a clip, but that doesn't sound right.
Right now, obviously the man advantage. Vice wants to try and get these frags, obviously force as many rebuys as possible, but still can't get it done. Hiko,
like if I know, if I know that I'm gonna be holding A, like let's say split and I'm holding A screens, right guys?
So he'll go down as expected there. 100 Thieves.
I do not want a Phantom in my hand at that range. I want a Vandal. I want to just get one tap and kill the person without them getting away.
Ended up working out brilliantly for 100 Thieves.
I want to be able to get those one taps.
Trying to compensate by really putting the pressure onto the inside of.
In no way would I take a Vandal from that range. Like, I mean, in no way would I take a Phantom at that range.
Still had threats inside of Garden and other areas near the site, and they were able to deal with the threat just fine. More aggression coming out from 100 Thieves here. Asuna immediately swinging to the inside of main over on the B site, putting the hot hands down too to keep any aggressive repeats from happening towards him, and also
especially if you got a nice one. Oh, good one-way. Is that Nitros? Good one-way, solid.
Quite a few times, but this time
top tier one-way right there. That's what I like.
With the curveball, takes down
that's one that I know.
Is welcome.
He's done his homework. I could tell.
The first blood to 100 Thieves back.
Good shit.
Once again, just
pro
way
gamer
dominant inside of the early round.
And the rest of ANDBOX very grouped up in mid right now, more than likely favoring an A take at this point, as we can see that pressure building up onto CAD, the large majority of them backing up to start working their way over towards A main. So it's primarily just going to be Seb
good one way
play towards CAD, and even he's hesitant.
I gotta use the bathroom. Hold it down for me.
Need to wait for the rest of his teammates to get in a position closer towards the main. They'll be in that spot right now. Lockdown is available here for Vice. That's not it too. They've got pretty much all of their ults as they get ready to move up to the point here. I'm going to use any of them, though, is the question. Probably not, considering that we're sitting on the eco. That's going to be important to keep in mind for the upcoming round, as Ethan starts to shut down this overall take. Yay, the first to fall. Other players trying to trade it, but just not happening. Seb, the only player to find success over here towards Cat, and now the only player left alive in what is now a 1v4.
Seb getting aggressive, and it's not going to work out for him. Not able to keep the rifle or his life, and 100 Thieves 6-1 right now. Very strong round there, but that's what we expected given the eco. Obviously, ANDBOX having to stack and try and play for as many trades as they can get their hands on, but given the circumstances as of right now, I mean, it's not looking too good if you're ANDBOX. Economy in the drain. They're gonna go for rifles, obviously, on this round, but if they end up losing, what is it worth? I mean, they're going to have to go back to the eco, and 100 Thieves will continue this steamroll. Very treacherous situation for them right now.
ANDBOX sitting in a very, very dangerous position indeed. The buy seeming to not help them out that much, failing to make impact, especially when it comes to these first 30 seconds of the round here. So much aggression from 100 Thieves, and ANDBOX seems to have no choice but to bow down to it. Nice curveball coming out. Mata there to try and force back the A main pressure from Ethan, but at the same time, he'll just shut down Barrier Orb. We are going to see the lockdown work its way in here. It'll be held back for a couple of seconds, but that's okay. They need to wait out the time slightly on this defender, on this Killjoy anyway. At the same time, lockdown going to be countered. We'll have 100 Fury come out from the attackers in order to deal with that. Mata gets the entry onto site here too, and they'll actually detain a player still too close to the site as well. Their plant's going to go down without much of an issue. 100 Thieves need to play for retake here.
Spike now planted, an opportunity, but the flank already covered. Asuna with no chance to try and get that to go off. So now it's down to the rest of 103 Thieves. Hiko, Nitro, and Ethan as they reclaim top space. Actually attempt to work their way onto the site, but it's going to be the split take instead. Still worried about Tree, and well, should be. You need to worry about that ice wall, but the trades already ensue. Hiko with one, but boy, able to pick up another. It's all down to Hiko, and finally, ANDBOX stand up with a nice execute onto A.
Too much control over the situation there. The barrier orb working its way down to cover off the closable door, and once that had gone down there, 100 Thieves trying to work their way out primarily from heaven, but just couldn't make the shots happen. And as a result of that, ANDBOX are able to solidify a very solid second round for themselves here as we get ready to move into the ninth. Getting close to the end of the half here. At the same time, ANDBOX trying to wean down that money pool for 100 Thieves. Still going to be looking strong here as we head into the next one, though. All full rifles.
ANDBOX have to continue to roll these rounds together. As you said, they need to do damage to this economy. An attempt to back 100 Thieves off, but it all starts at this moment. They finally got the rifle round. They're equal here. A curveball out as more pressure from 100 Thieves into B main, and yet again, it works in their favor. Two big frags, as Seb is now the lone man over here on side of B. But it seems as though ult has worked out. Oh, actually no, Asuna with some info, but he doesn't know exactly where he is. Seb gets one from Boathouse, and he's got strong pressure. Now 100 Thieves actually lacking in the defensive department. It's only Ethan on site for B. Oh, no. Needs help from his teammates. Turret out, and he's getting flooded. Oh no, it's full B control now for ANDBOX. 100 Thieves have to risk the retake.
The scan so fatal there as it allowed Seb to spam in from the back of the hut. Massive damage going on to him, and the only real player that can stop this plant from going down, eliminated without able to trade out too much damage in the process here. See though, Steel with a nice re-entry. Vice trying to play aggressively, pays the price for it as he's able to eliminate him. Rest of the team working their way in. Some more spam coming out, and I think it does significant damage to Boy in the process here as well. Kurt will go down, smoke over it. Still managed to get a lock on one of the players, though, and they'll execute upon that. Steel trying to work his way in, but no. Seb gets the better of him, but before going down, Steel was able to grab Boy. Nitro, though, immediately destroying Seb. Should leave enough time for the defuse here, as 100 Thieves are going to pick up their 7th.
I'm always down for some Omen on Omen violence. Some great stuff there from Nitro, but almost a star-studded play from Seb. An ult at the last second gets him into Boathouse, and he's able to actually get them a spike down. Now, obviously, they did end up losing that round, but overall, doing some harm to 100 Thieves and still making money off that plant, it's not the worst thing in the world, but 100 Thieves definitely still in the lead when it comes to this series.
Much closer for ANDBOX. Once again, that B main pressure just constantly getting the better of them from Asuna as well as Ethan here. We're gonna have to see if they can finally get the better of that one. Slow orb immediately going down will stop any immediate aggression to work its way out there from ANDBOX, but you'll notice a bit of restraint here on the curveball coming in from Asuna. Trying to work their way forward. A bit of an awkward timing for both teams, and ultimately Mata finally going to come out on top of this engagement. That's a big deal here. Normally ANDBOX has been on the losing end of this initial duel. Mata's going to be able to move in. Ye will support from that top window as he's going to self-boost himself up with the barrier orb. However, no one's been able to check stairs as a result of this. The run it back expires. He might have got a quick glimpse of Hiko before it goes down, but Hiko will reveal himself anyway. Steel has the cutoff by spawn route, but still, Mata on point here, immediately trading out these kills and keeping himself in the fight.
Well, there's a Manu one on site to lock it all down. It's got to be Hiko. He goes for the second, but it's Mata for 4 instead. Throws down the hot hands, and it's Seb to seal the deal. Mata, what a play. And what an ult exchange from ANDBOX as well. They get the fantastic exchange inside of B main for the first time on offense. And how do they translate that? Well, it's got to be with the run it back and the res from Sage. Some fantastic stuff once again coming from these guys to actually translate that in not only a plant, but a round win. That's exactly what they needed to get the ball rolling.
Some great stuff from Mata. They're finally coming alive when it comes to the early round duel, specifically versus Asuna, and trying to gather control over the early round engagements. Now time to see if they can keep that up here, of course. 100 Thieves not going to take that loss lightly, and immediately we're going to see a shift of positions. Asuna now playing over on Catch, trying to get aggressive in mid instead of the usual B main position that he's been playing up until this point.
Well, ANDBOX once again at the gates of B. Tending to work their way in. Spike still all the way in spawn, so not necessarily putting themselves in the riskiest position just yet. But speaking of risk, 100 Thieves risk it all, and it's actually not going the way that they wanted it to. Asuna pushes his way all the way up Cats. ANDBOX lie with open arms right at the end of it. Nice opening for them, especially on such a high power fragger for this squad.
Steel waiting for the cutoff here once again, and he might just get it. Ye walking right into his crosshairs here. Might have an opportunity for a second as well because of the unrestricted mid control. He can just hyper focus on this angle with very little worry in the world. Mata, in the meanwhile, still trying to play for some type of positioning on the inside of the B site, but he's alone, waiting for rotates to work their way over. Steel again, man, lined up, but Boy apparently has got the better line as he's going to be able to take down Steel instead, regaining that mid control for ANDBOX here as soon as the dart is going to fade away.
The B execute finally comes out, but Hiko with the Hunter's Fury doesn't actually find anybody. Instead, it's Boy and Mata who execute on this site. Not only take out Hiko in the back spawn, but also start to set up for the plant. Nitro on stairs, able to find one. Knows where the spike went down as well. He's good for 2.
The fuck is Vice shooting at?
Not able to seal it out just yet. Goes for the smoke. Immediately starts to try and get rid of this spike. Goes for the defuse, but the Hunter's Fury now inside of this 1 versus 1. Low HP, has to try and get around the shock dart, but Boy, just that much better on the bounce. The geometry class is really working out in his favor.
Boy, just playing that out so well right there, solidifying a very much needed round for ANDBOX, trying to work their way back into this half and solidify a solid scoreline before we get to halftime, which is coming up very, very soon here indeed. Take a look here at Nitro as well. Really on point when it comes to the re-entry, specifically into this site here on B. Has been finding multiple multi-frags, but at the same time, got a couple members of ANDBOX popping off here. Boy having himself quite the round, and that's right after Mata nearly got himself an ace as well, picking up a 4K a couple rounds back.
Yeah, this feels like a completely different ANDBOX. That's
mini
what we
agents
watched,
should
a
play
couple
or
days
main in
ago
your
up
opinion?
against
How
Noble.
many
We saw
agents should a
Ye
player
really
main?
popping
I
off,
don't
and
know.
Mata not having the greatest
hard
of
question.
days. But today it does indeed seem to be his day.
I think you should
as
have
he
at least
continues
2
to find these
characters you know how
frags
to
for the
play.
Squad and
Yeah, it's like
open up
pretty
a lot of
standard.
different avenues. This time around, though, ANDBOX seemingly want B control.
You know what I'm saying?
Killjoy gonna have the spike for this one, but mostly strung along the entire map. Could possibly still
Chat.
go for an A push here. As
You
Ye
guys,
works his
dude,
way up
2023
catwalk, but nothing
Valorant,
just yet. Finally,
vaccinated
action starts to
people
go off.
only
Mata with
land,
yet
dude.
another frag
Who's gonna
inside
be
the
out there
map.
in the crowd with me?
Mata Alpha Saga continues here in Mata's favor after favoring Asha so much in this matchup here. Seems to have flipped quite a bit. Mata taking serious impact in the early round, reversing their fate
my gosh.
earlier in the half. Aldrin working its way out. It is not going to check the back corner, but there's usually an assumed player to be back there anyway, so like it will be covered. The run it back
For
trying to be used
2022,
here.
yeah, that's what I meant. I
Aggressive
thought we
swing
were
is
in
played
2022, my
inside
bad.
of Cat in a Tree, but it's countered pretty much immediately by Steel's utility. So he's actually gonna get aggressive, swings out. He's able to catch Mata unawares. Ye immediately there for the exchange. A lot of the lockdowns get volleyed back and forth there. No one actually getting a hit by it. So Ethan still going to be able to play aggressively from up on top of the rafters box. Countered by Boy, however, and he's going to continue his rampage as he shuts down another kill here for his team. Overall, closes out on the round.
So ANDBOX claw back into this one. Wasn't really expecting that when we were at the 6-1 score line, but 7-4 as of right now, and almost 7-5. Assuming that was the last one right there, but we'll have to see in just a split second as we roll you guys through. What I'm assuming is all of this half's action, and we had quite a bit of it, as you can see. As you were talking about earlier, the saga between Mata and Asuna. I want to see how that, it actually works its way through once they switch sides. Are they both going to still try and fight each other in B main? Like, where are these guys going?
It's going to be interesting to see how the second half plays out here as well. It's 100 Thieves attack that I'm very curious to see how this pans out. ANDBOX are known for playing a very, very aggressive play style, and 100 Thieves had issues dealing with that, specifically during Masters.
That should hit him.
She was bringing something similar to the table, so I'm curious if ANDBOX is going to be able to bring that aggressive play style to the table, specifically against 100 Thieves. Obviously, the individual caliber leveling itself up a little bit compared to Noble, their previous opponent.
It was a good dart.
100 Thieves. Still seemingly sticking to the game plan. Still have Nitro and Hiko.
Yeah, I figured out what I gotta do to hit Radiant.
Traditionally what we see when they try to start off these
All
offenses.
Radiant players
Aldrin out now as he really needs
play
some
fucking
intel
Reyna,
from these
dude.
people, but oh no, Hiko with a huge misread.
I gotta become a Reyna player.
Wine, and he's able to get one. Mata with the curveball now. Possibility to get two, but oh no, the swarm just too strong for KJ.
Yeah, Steel on point with these nano swarms here, fending off multiple players. We saw it in the previous round. We're going to see it again here to deal with the threat in the back main Cubby. Nice playing up close and personal here on contact from A main, but only able to translate the 1-for-1. Trades going back and forth, though, leave us down into a very delicate situation. Ultimately, it looks like ANDBOX are going to be able to shut things down in their favor and secure a very important pistol for themselves, potentially guaranteeing the lead here.
Has to be it.
There are no issues on the second round translation.
Great stuff there from ANDBOX, especially since 100 Thieves threw everything at A. I mean, nice transfer there for them. And
yeah, I
pistols
could
usually
hit
do
Radiant,
end up
dude.
being pretty hectic, but that one just seemed to go.
He spent one day
all
watching
ANDBOX's way.
Valorant,
There
and
was
here
really
we
no
go.
chance for 100
Okay,
Thieves to
Toothless
battle back
Taco,
there.
what are you
They
trying to
were
say,
able
bro?
get some early picks, especially inside of Wine, but they even got caught off guard by that play. So rolling on over into this next round, it's going to be a full save for them. They try to stack and find some frags.
A little bit of
Yeah,
intel on
I'm
device
good
position,
enough.
but nothing major at the end of the day. Just 100 Thieves trying to gather that with the recon dart and force back anyone that was going to try to play aggressively in the actual inside of the hallway here. So 100 Thieves will just take their orb, quickly back away as they do need to play relatively conjoined here in order to make any concerted effort seriously considered into the site. Boy's gonna get some free info for himself here. Only one player spotted, and actually some problems for Ethan in terms of killing the Al drone. So he gets a second little peek onto the outside of B main before finally losing it to his opponents. He'll go down. However, Boy, ready for the challenge, immediately shutting down Steel. Gonna go for two. You can see Ethan trying to bait him into the angle so his teammates can trade that out.
Game.
Not too successful. Ye with another lineup now with the Ghost here as he takes down Nitro. Boy re-engages, but he'll finally meet his match against Eco. Problem is, Eco's now alone. 1v3 set before him, and remember, this is still an Eco round for them. So
Eco got the orb, that's good.
by Mata. That'll be the
I'm getting 2 guns out, was really good.
going on the board here.
So I guess I got one out only.
Yeah, that was just rough from the jump for 100 Thieves. There's not much you can really do when it's a full save. You got classics and everyone's bearing down.
Jay, you guys just warm salt water will help me get this thing out of my throat. I'm gonna try it.
And that's a really big
I'm gonna go heat up some water.
One of the best in the business when it comes to this Hunter's Fury and just Sova overall. So if you're able to get some ult points in the process of a round that you know you're gonna lose, I mean that's just trying to propel you towards a win. So let's see now that we actually have some money in the bank for 100 Thieves, what they're able to do.
Aggression here from ANDBOX over towards the B main area. We're going to see the same thing working its way onto the A site as well here. ANDBOX trying to ensure for all capabilities that 100 Thieves do not try to burst their way directly into the site. VODS, some unfortunate timing here, and it's not just him as well. Vice and Seb also in the area. All three of them going down to just a walk-in entry from 100 Thieves on Cat. That's going to give them free control of the A site, completely unchallenged here by ANDBOX. I don't even really know if they're going to be able to buy for a retake here. Boy having himself the pistol, they might just go for it considering that this is not a full investment round for all players to get. So I don't know exactly what the money's looking
didn't
like,
drink
but
it. I'm
already
still warming up the water.
Down. Boy not too far behind either, as Asta's able to find him on the inside of Garden pretty quickly. There you go, 100 Thieves wiping the floor with ANDBOX. But where does that leave them now? Still in position to rebuy here except for one player, so still should be good going into this next round.
Oh, it's such a hard opening for both of these squads. The last thing that you assumed was that we were going to get 2 triple stacks over near tree, but that's exactly what we got right there. 100 Thieves just forced their way up Cat. They really want to try and take control of tree, and what are they met with? Well, 3 ANDBOX members, and they're able to kill every single one of them. No trades coming through, and able to flood on the site because of that. Fantastic stuff early on inside of that round, but that's going to bode well for them for the future. Now we have a Hiko with not only the Hunter's Fury, but also the run it back already on Asuna.
Drones out here. Hiko trying to get info. Does spot the one player by Jen. He's got Hunter's Fury ready to follow it up here as well. Should be able to find the lockdown of the Mata. One final shot just being taken to the inside of tree. Just to get lucky with one more tag, and not going to happen. And now the problem is that Hunter's Fury response not really finding the damage it needed to. Only tagging Nitro on the 3rd and final shot right there. The 2 remaining players from ANDBOX once again forced out of the site, forced out of any attempt to stop this take or at least deal damage to the 100 Thieves roster in the process of it, and left with really any option to fully commit themselves to a retake. So they are going to back up to mid, start to commit to a save. Steel knows this. He's already in mid in the meantime here, catching out Ye from top market, shutting him down, leaving only Boy in the fight now.
Man, Boy's going to attempt to save this rifle if it can be done, but obviously Steel might find it, but I don't even think it's going to be him first. It might honestly be Ethan, but he's looking the wrong way. Not towards mid gates, but it's actually going to be Asuna, who's already wrapped back towards attacker side spawn. Cleans that one up, and ANDBOX are not getting away with any goods.
Definitely not the case. So close for ANDBOX to potentially take the lead
Didn't do
away
shit.
over to this defensive side, but unfortunately not happening. 100 Thieves getting off to a great start. Info Ping following it up with the Hunter's Fury. The very solid entries working their way to the inside of Cat, and the unfortunate lack of any impact coming in from ANDBOX's own Hunter's Fury there sealed the deal. Didn't leave any chance for those 2 players left after the chaos to retake whatsoever. Tried to save, but even that was read by 100 Thieves, and we saw that get shut down too. So there's no way to win, unfortunately, in that previous round for ANDBOX, no matter which way they tried to play it. Forcing them onto an eco here. Just going to see a couple upgraded pistols, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Really all they can muster at this point. They need to save money and try and save themselves, but that's not going to work out either. Mata, the first one taken down inside of this round, but ANDBOX actually working their way back through mid, able to stay alive for the time being. Ye with a nice frag onto Ethan as well inside of B main, so at least they'll get something for their troubles, but what more they'll get is actually a plant, is all of B control in favor of 100 Thieves. Spike going down, and they still have Nitro at tiles. This is looking so good coming into this.
He's trying to teach Nitro, or Ethan, excuse me, a lesson there. Saying, no, I'm the aggressive Sage. I'm the one who does those boosts. But either way, 100 Thieves going to assert great control. This lockdown really sealing the deal too. Good catches from Nitro as he shuts them all down at the market entry point. 3 players going away. He's going to look for a 4th back over here at spawn route as well. Vice hiding on the inside of a dark cover here, trying to play off of that since he has himself a gun to use here, but not going to work
Good
out.
shots.
Hiko's still shutting him down, and 100 Thieves asserting their lead now in double-digit territory.
So ANDBOX were able to find their footing earlier on where a 6-1 score line. Didn't necessarily think they could turn that half around, but they're faced with it yet again. A 3-round lead for 100 Thieves. ANDBOX finally back in the money, and that's where they want to be. They need these rifles to try and contest 100 Thieves. Inside of these matchups, obviously on those eco rounds, it's going to be basically impossible. Obviously, you're just trying to get those frags to harm the economy, but I mean, it seems as though once they're later into their half, depending on whatever half it is, they're actually able to figure out what their opponent team is doing. So we'll see if ANDBOX can do it once again here, or if this is going to continue to be the same song and the same dance.
To play close here from ANDBOX. This is that aggressive playstyle that I talked about here, trying to use it to get ahead. The run it back immediately working its way out from Mata, but finding very little success aside from 1 to 2 positions for these players. Trying to buy for a repeat, and he even commits to it off of the info from the Owl drone, but not going to work out. Ethan getting the better of Mata out of that situation, giving 100 Thieves the early advantage yet again. You're in a very important round for ANDBOX, starting to fall behind. 100 Thieves getting very close to that penultimate point here. Only 2 away from 12 at this point. Paranoia working its way out in the meantime for 100 Thieves, but Ethan not really able to find the right to initiate at least onto the first player. He initiates onto him, but the problem is the 2-stack. Always catching players when you double stack in this corner here. So Seb will be able to find the exchange upon that, and overall force back the aggression from ANDBOX, forcing them to go for an A plays. This was all a fake. Nitro's gonna be able to port himself in. He still ends up getting caught by Ye after working his way onto the site there. Snow with the quick trade, throws the hot hands onto the ground. Ye's too low to get out of it. Slice as well, though. Moving in here very quickly, keeping the pressure on 100 Thieves, disallowing them from getting into a solid post-plant positioning. Aston and Steel now having to both play this from the inside of Hell. Dark cover going to block off the one end. They will put their turret down to act as early alert, specifically to an A main push, but the swing from the door will be caught as well. It allows Aston to take a deeper angle, but if he wants to, there we go. Has the lineup against Vice. The run it back is actually caught. He's going to go down on the response as well on the respawn there, but Steel ready to take on the challenge. He shuts down Seb, prevents the clutch, and more importantly, puts the 11th round on the board for 100.
That's your buzzing?
Woo, what a burner
Salted
there. Wow.
caramel.
Some incredible stuff going on.
Popcorn.
I mean, I absolutely love what 100 Thieves did with Hell right there, especially the telly in from Nitro. Granted, it didn't work out all that well, but he did get the info that was necessary for 100 Thieves to clear the area, and that was a really big deal. We saw Steel and Asuna have an amazing utility combo here with the hot hands coming in.
That's just
then
buzzing.
the Nano Swarm on top of that, dealing even more damage to Ye. Not able to get out of that hot hands and contest anybody. Some fantastic, fantastic team play going on for these guys.
Coming down to the wire here now for ANDBOX, trying their best to work their way into it, as we can see a big investment coming in with even Spectres on a couple of players now too, looking at Mata and Boy. Early info once again due to the Owl drone, but you can see due to the gunpowder here, ANDBOX can't really reckon trying to play aggressive, at least when it comes to B main anymore. He works his way out. Nitro trying to take contact here, but like I said, nobody on ANDBOX wants to challenge.
Bussin'. No kizzy cap.
Sheesh! Here comes the pressure. Up on Cat, Steel finds the first pick. Immediately, a wild swing for Mata to try to make up for the loss, and it's not going to work. Steel finds that trade as well. Thieves working their way in here. Pre-plant to go in their favor, and Nitro immediately catching the flank from Ye due to the continued tree control. Look at this, it's so smooth from Nitro. Locks onto the head of Seb to take him down also. Just Boy now in a 1v5. Pretty much an impossible situation. He'll do what damage he can here, but...
Arcade, thanks for the prime, dude. All that's hoping for the 18 months.
It's like 100 Thieves are just so strong on the entry, and Nitro's there on the lurk just to slide the dagger just a little bit deeper in the chest. Such a hard situation for ANDBOX to fight back from, and once again, 100 Thieves claim the round. 12-7 right now, and they've looked so dominant, even giving ANDBOX those 7 rounds.
100 Thieves looking to shut this one down here, and unfortunately, due to the forced investment from ANDBOX,
100 Thieves is looking to shut this one down, boys.
Much better on this one here. We've got multiple Bulldog buys coming in on Ye and Seb. Still going to see a Spectre on Vice. Only 2 real big rifles coming in here as the Phantom purchases are made by Mata and Boy, but aside from that, ANDBOX are going to have to hope they can scrap their way to a win here and keep them in the running. They now need 5 rounds consecutively just to take us into overtime here. 100 Thieves in a great position to shut this one down here and now. You're going to see a bit of aggression from ANDBOX there towards A main. That's just to deal with the Owl drone, though. But in the meanwhile, a free lurk into mid here for at least one of the players for 100 Thieves. That's going to Steel, I believe, working his way all the way up to market for free. Even counters out the turret from Vice sitting deep in the site too. So this is going to lead into
Heidi is
a
joining an
quick
org. Do you know anything about it?
because of all this free control they've been able to get for themselves here. Not a lot of
I think
info
she's
on the
joining
booth, so that's a little
NRG.
bit dangerous. They've got to be careful.
My
with the
guess.
contestant. Thankfully, Ethan finds one at the last second. Boy escapes his daze though, but is now going to look for the trade after he picks one up. Never mind, it'll come from Hiko instead. It's full site control going by the way of 100 Thieves. Just need to close out the 4v2 and the map is there.
Spike planted.